Congress, Governor Minor task faithful and diligence receives the Campees. Deputy Governor sues for continued support of Akbc Elders Advisory Council. Okanafunaruwan and federal constituents for encomiums and Unyamiden for impactful representation. Plus, state Agri-Bus distributes farm inputs to public secondary schools, seeks interest of students in agriculture. Stay tuned for details of these and other reports in a moment. Hello, good evening. Welcome to the news. My name is Mercy Ikere. The special monthly covenant service for April on the theme Wonders of the Cross has been held. The service always held on the first day of the month since the advent of the Moino administration coincided with this year's Easter celebration. A Government House reporter, Patience John, says the service featured Easter hymns among other activities.
The special monthly covenant service and Easter hymns held at Banquet Hall, Government House, Uyo, had the governor and the deputy governor in attendance. Easter hymns from government functionaries, including members of the State Executive Council, national and state legislators, chairmen of boards and agencies, spiced the event. Others include Transition Committee Chairman and Vice and invited guest artists. In a sermon by Dr. Nick Ihana, chair of Arise Fellowship International Church Incorporated, who preached on the theme of the event, The Wonders of the Cross, listed the benefits of the resurrection of Jesus Christ to mankind.
Satan was put to shame where? An open shame, powers and principalities, everything bowed at the cross. The Bible says that when he gave up the ghost, in verse 50 says gave up the ghost, and the curtain, the partition wall between us and God was taken away.
Governor Moino took part in the Easter hymns, thanked the people for maximizing the special prayer service. Patience John, Akbc News.
Faithful of the People's Democratic Party have been urged to continue to work towards the unity of the party. The state governor and leader of the party in Akwa Ibom, Pastor Moino, made the call at the just concluded statewide ward congress held at his hometown, Ibiapanobotam, Ward 2. He explained that the purpose of the PDP World Meeting was to afford the party leadership opportunity to receive the campees back to the field. Patience John tells us more.
Governor Moino promised that his administration will continue to justify the confidence of the people who voted him into office as governor of the state by impacting lives positively and urged leaders of the PDP across the 368 wards in the state to ensure unity among members and integration of returnees who have chosen to return to the People's Democratic Party.
So am I going to party over? If I receive, so me tire me akedo, I make sure ke afre we already. Ya iwara ke, idiana ke, inamutom ke, ya woku ubitre wondo ke. Age wonori uyep, abase ya yebenye. Age wono shedo ngabo yari na mabianga, abase ya bianga. Aro nyin gese nyin mi receive no for ketiese ibo yang ari mi suri itie kempo ideo aro mbok ema yori ki yemari sio world chairman ngapandri itie kemmo ke bo fen ammo ke na mutom.
Appreciating President Bola Tinubu for his style of leadership in the country, Governor Moino called on the people to keep hope alive that the country will experience a leap in the future and explained modalities for the bulk food purchase program of the state government aimed at reducing the suffering of the less privileged by making food available.
PDP, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, aye yakano afun ko sanga nenne, abasero ngwamnyen. Afun ko song me ya men. Iri meme seven betaron tom. Yang tong parawan tong kai fere. Enye mbom inkoro urua corner shops. Enye urua kesri rom. So that I register fente agent. Afonyi tiente fonyam gari, anyam rice, anyam beans. Iro government ebu no fien bodo nyam. Afobi gide inyam. Then government no ticket. Imagine a football ticket. I release 5 kg of rice, beans, and gari. Aben ticket. Adi uyo. Maunyam no. Akreboke wak. Government who pay for the succession get ticket. And why they 2.5%, 1%, no.
Patience Joe, Akbc News.
The General Overseer of Great Faith Ministries International, Archbishop Udeme Simon, has marked his 66th birthday as well as the 6th anniversary as an Archbishop in the Lord's Vineyard with pomp and ceremony. The celebrations, which coincided with the Church's 29th anniversary convention, had Governor Moino as special guest of honor. Again, Patience John completes the story.
Felicitating with the celebrator Archbishop Udeme Simon on his achievements and other leaders in the Christian community, Governor Moino advised them to exemplify the virtue of humility while serving God and humanity. The governor said he was at the event to honor Archbishop Udeme Simon and wife in appreciation of the resilience in service to God, adding that he admires his quiet disposition even in the discharge of his ecumenical responsibilities, and called on other clergymen to follow suit.
We have to come to honor you, sir. You are one man that is quiet, but achieving a lot for the Lord. This man is a humble man. That's what I'm saying. He prays silently, but is making impact. He does not show himself when he's not and he's not. But God still wakes us up in the night and reminds us of people. Thank you so much. Let me say that publicly. And I request, of course, the man cannot begin to use the left hand at old age. Please don't change.
The celebrator Archbishop Udeme Simon described the 4-in-1 celebration as a manifestation of God's mercy for his 66-year sojourn on earth and grace to serve in his vineyard, and thanked Governor Moino and his entourage for honoring him.
I am honored. His Excellency, his deputy, the Speaker, coming to celebrate with us. Your Excellency, thank you so much. And because he is from church constituency, remember church, remember the men of God. And so the Lord who has brought you, the church will stand with you and by you for 8 years.
On the theme, Unique Settlement, the presiding bishop of the Liberation Chapel, Port Harcourt, Bishop Samuel Akpan, told the people that whenever God calls anyone, he settles those that obey him at the appointed time. Patience John, Akbc News.
The state's deputy governor, Senator Akbc, has described her boss, Governor Moino, as a gift from God to Oro Nation and Akwa Ibom at large. Senator Yayi made the description while hosting members of a socio-cultural organization, the Akbc Elders Advisory Council, at Government House, Uyu. A Government House reporter, Toby Malkun, tells us more.
It was an evening of eulogy and government at the Deputy's Garden Lodge when a socio-cultural group, Akbc Elders Advisory Council, clad in Oro traditional colors, came to wine and dine with their very own Senator Akbc. Senator Yayi, while welcoming our people, informed them of the bold steps taken by the governor in tackling issues that may hinder development in the state. She disclosed that the governor, barely 10 months in office, has approved projects including the construction of the 2.1 kilometer Ukbong Street and 2.1 kilometer Ifyongisang Street with 800 meters length of discharge drain, among other impactful contracts that will bring development to the area and state. Senator Yayi, while congratulating the chairman of Advisory Council and other enchanting personalities in the forum for the visit, urged them to always pray for more wisdom and strength on the governor while assuring them of more development strides in our nation.
God had laid that foundation because he knew I will in future stand where I am before you people. Today I can stand very proudly, happy to tell you those words that he used to say, those things he used to identify, to say I will, it should have been this. He has started doing it.
The chairman of Akbc Elders Advisory Council, Ikutu Okun, expressed joy over the gesture, describing Senator Akbc as an epitome of motherhood and humility, specified with an exceptional leadership style, recently honored as the most decorated female politician in Nigeria.
The governor has embarked on impactful projects for the benefit of the people. We cannot fail to comment on the fact that so far, Governor Mono, by his actions and deeds, has applied the magic wand to reverse all of marginalization and neglect by successive government. Our right-thinking members should give the governor the fullest support to succeed, for a good man is on the throne.
Goodwill messages were received by the member representing Oro Federal Constituency, Mr. Martin Sisson, President General of Oro Union, Sir Esang Nsabasi, former National President of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, Sir Edith Amana, among others. The meeting witnessed induction of the 5 transition committee chairmen in Oro Nation as automatic members of the Akbc Elders Advisory Council by Senator Akbc. Otobi Malkun, Akbc News.
You're watching Akbc 45 News. More reports after this time out. Just stay. In fulfillment of his resolve to change the economic outlook of his constituents, the member representing Ukanafunuru Federal Constituency, Mr. Nyemidem, has commissioned the 4-kilometer Ikorokbanisien Ikorobong Road in Uruwanam local government area, which he facilitated. The road project, which will greatly boost agriculture in the area, is constructed with a bridge linking Ikorokbanerin with Ikorobong.
Idems, who is the chairman House of Representatives Committee on Public Procurement, described the project as an Easter gift from him to the people of Uruwanam, stressing that no development thrives without good road network. Addressing his constituents at Ikorokbanesien Ikorobong Junction, venue of the commissioning, Idem used the opportunity to appeal to the people of Ukanafunuru Federal Constituency to be patient, hinting that more plans are on the way for them.
People are talking about the Easter gift. These 2 words. The entire Uruwanam local government area. I felt that road projects is one of the best gifts that can be given to a constituent. There is no way you can achieve any development, economic development in a given area like this without good road networks.
Mr. Nyemidem appealed to the youths to be peaceful while restating his plan to facilitate more employment for his constituents into federal ministries, departments and agencies.
We used just 5 years now, that have not benefited from my administration. But I want to appeal to my constituents that you should be patient. I want to assure you that what I've been able to put on ground in the last 5 years is very little compared to what is going to happen in the next 3 years.
Some stakeholders from the area, including Mr. Samson Idiong, Elder Udoke Rianakban, among others, applauded Nyemidem for facilitating the road project, noting that it will boost the economic livelihood of people of the communities.
The road has opened up a lot of things for us, because that road now will be able to plant more development.
And particularly for the opening up of this road.
They also commended his quality of representation, agreeing that with his sterling performance, he deserves bigger responsibilities in the future. Uyoko Uswa, Akbc News.
In a bid to boost food production and sufficiency, as well as rekindle the interest of students in practical agriculture, the state government has distributed farm inputs to public secondary schools in Uyo Senatorial District. AI Paul reports.
Addressing the principal generals and teachers at the Community Comprehensive Secondary School 4 Towns Uyo venue for the distribution, the Commissioner for Agriculture and Rural Development, Dr. Fiomofo, tasked them to nurture the students' practical skills in the area of agriculture. Dr. Fo, who stressed the importance of food in the functioning of the human body, reasoned that this has made government at all levels to place more emphasis on agricultural production. She expressed gratitude to Governor Moeno for his huge investment in agriculture and support to farmers across the state, which is aimed at ensuring food sufficiency and security. The Commissioner advised the Principal Generals to revive Young Farmers Club in order to rekindle student interest in agriculture.
This school is representing Uyo Senatorial District. So we have several schools from Uyo Senatorial District here present. Why is the governor talking about agricultural revolution? Because we cannot do without food. So that's why several interventions by the federal and state governments have been brought in to see how to support the schools.
Also speaking, the Commissioner for Education, Mrs. Idoma Siritiere, commended the governor for integrating agriculture into the school's curriculum and extending support to public secondary schools. Etiebe pledged to establish a monitoring unit for the tracking of the progress of the input received in school farms.
I know that we've had this planting season every year, but I want to commend the indefatigable Commissioner for Agriculture for the way he has structured programs this year. And I want to appreciate His Excellency the Governor for the very palpable love of his people.
Earlier, the Permanent Secretary, Minister of Agriculture and Rural Development, Mrs. Mary Bassi, emphasized Governor No's commitment to the Arise agenda, which prioritizes agriculture and rural development. Mrs. Bassi urged the benefiting schools to make the best use of the farm input.
Please go and plant it, and you will harvest. Yes. So please, let all of us go into the farm and plant.
The host principal, Mr. Mekbo, affirmed the school's readiness to maximize the agricultural input provided. The principal general, Instead People's Grammar School of Ahafium, instead Ibom Local Government Area, Mrs. Inebo Omo, on behalf of other principals, pledged to contribute to the success of the state's agricultural policies.
I appreciate our honorable governor for including us in his Arise agenda by giving us farm inputs to our different schools.
Eyageno Paul, Akbc News.
Principals and teachers of public secondary schools in the state have been charged to encourage students develop more interest in agriculture to afford them the vast opportunities in the sector. The Commissioner for Agriculture and Rural Development, Dr. Fionfo, gave the charge while distributing farm inputs to public secondary schools in Ikot-Ekpene.
Dr. Fon noted that the glaring importance of food to humanity has necessitated Governor Moino to place agriculture revolution as the front burner of the Arise agenda. She averred that the lasting solution to the current food crisis in Nigeria as intensive involvement in the people in agricultural production as the production of more food would make food available and affordable. The Commissioner appreciated Governor Moino for approving the distribution of farm inputs to farming groups, local government areas and schools in the state.
We have come here again this year to flag off the 2024 first planting season for public secondary schools, and more so at a time where we have high rates of inflation and our food prices are skyrocketing. His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Akwa State, Pastor Mobaseno, has said every one of us should do what? Go back to the farm.
The Permanent Secretary in the Ministry, Mrs. Mary Bassi, said that the governor has mandated the ministry to reach out to farmers in different categories and schools to boost food production. Bassi appealed to the beneficiaries to make good use of the items.
We are here because of the good work of our people. He is doing this through our able commissioner, Dr. Fionfo.
Speaking on behalf of the Commissioner for Education, the Director of Secondary Higher Education, Dr. Glory Igbo, commended the Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development for the initiative and assured of the support to the success of the program. The Principal General State College Ikot-Ekpene, Mr. Sylvester Udom, lauded the Ministry for the choice of public schools to distribute the input and added that the beneficiaries will properly use the inputs for food production in the state. In their separate goodwill messages, the Principal General, Government Model School Secondary School Ikorekang, and that of Nigerian Christian Secondary School Ukbum promised to translate the input to a bomber harvest.
So I thank God that I am privileged to be part of this. His Excellency has told me, aside from giving the farmer groups, group of farmers, the input, he also gave me hints to extend to schools. I want to appreciate our amiable governor has been necessary to boost food production in a time of state.
We need to understand that there are input variety. The training we receive from the consultant. We have clubs in our school. One of the clubs we have is Young Farmers Club. And we make sure we advise them, make them know the modern method and scientific method of planting.
The occasion featured distribution of farm inputs to public secondary schools in the senatorial district by the Commissioner for Agriculture and Rural Development, Eyageno Paul, Akbc News.
Members of the Nigerian Institute of Builders, Akbc chapter, have been admonished to adhere strictly to the standards, codes of practice, and building regulations to ensure safety for all in the built environment. The admonition was given by the state chairman of the body, Onyemae State, at the 2024 Builders Day, organized to sensitize the public on the rules of builders in sustainable housing delivery, devoid of collapse. The event held at the Building Lecture Hall, Faculty of Environmental Studies, University of Uyo. Esther Morin completes the report.
Mentioning cases of collapsed buildings recorded in Akwa Ibom State, Mr. Onyemae advocated domestication of the National Building Code in the State's Development Authority to ensure that registered builders take the responsibility of projecting quality management, health and safety plans, and construction program of work in order to build for a safer society.
The federal government can ask intervene. Republic of Nigeria 2004, formerly known as Decree 45 of 1989, established Council of Registered Builders of Nigeria. Hence, the building professional practice is fully backed by relevant laws in Nigeria.
The chairman on the occasion, Chief Refyong, while addressing challenges posed by quacks as well as high cost of building materials, called on governments to create enabling environments for the regulatory conduct of builders in order to build right to avoid cases of building collapse. The event featured lecture on the role of builders in sustainable housing delivery by the Dean, Faculty of Environmental Studies, University of Uyo, Professor Anthony Udeme, who advocated building professionalism in all ramifications for a sustainable housing delivery.
We are expert ensure efficient use of resources. We are trained to manage resources to ensure that those integration of performance are ensured to be students. Builders are versatile professionals who contribute to various sectors of the sector. The services of builder is least utilized and one.
Video messages were received from the Vice Chancellor, University of Uyo, Professor Yaudon Dayo, the Registrar, University of Uyo, Mrs. Blossom Okorie, the Commissioner for Lands and Town Planning, retired Captain Inyebon Ekong, and Mr. Victor Friday, all pledging collaborations to ensure safety in the building environment. Builders across the state earlier engaged in roadwork and other activities to mark the event. Esther Umorin, Akbc News.
Now on that note, we conclude our package tonight. But just before we go, a quick reminder that faithful of the People's Democratic Party have been urged to continue to work towards the unity of the party. The state governor and leader of the party in Akwa Ibom, Pastor Umoino, made the call at the just concluded statewide congress held at his hometown, Ibiakmano Ward 2, Nsirubim. Also, in fulfillment of his resolve to change the economic outlook of his constituents, the member representing Okanafono Federal Constituency, Mr. Yimidem, has commissioned the 4-kilometer Ikoropanesien Ikorobong Ikorubong Road in Orowanam local government area, which he facilitated. And that's the package tonight. Thanks for your time. My name is Mercy Kiri. From me, it's good night.